Hello and welcome to the first review by Redline Technologies. I am Sabrin and we're both directors at Redline Technologies, and for today's review we would like to review the Radeon 7730 graphics card. The main reason why we chose the 7730 is because I think it's affordable to a majority of people in Sri Lanka, because not everybody has 25 to 30,000 upwards to spend on a really high-end graphics card, but people nonetheless want good gaming performance and on the latest titles, and generally on resolutions lower than full HD. So generally up until recently, I would say the graphics card that was available between the 10 to 15,000 rupee range has mainly been the NVIDIA GT630, but this card at just 12,000 rupees outperforms the DDR5 version of the GT640.
We have two models of the 7730 at our store. One is from Sapphire, one is from MSI. Both are top tier manufacturers, so both are of equal quality.
Yeah, and you get a comprehensive 3-year warranty across both.
Start off with the basics. Like I told you, it comes with the 800 MHz clock speed, and it comes with a DDR5 memory clocked at 1200. So it's quite fast in that regard, because usually you only get the higher end cards with DDR5 memory. It's very rare to have a low end card like this, sub 20,000, to have DDR5 memory.
Some of the superficial features, let me just run through it. Like, obviously it has support for things like DirectX 11.1. It has support for Crossfire, as you'll be seeing the machine on my right has essentially two 7730s in Crossfire. We'll get that soon enough. It's based on the AMD GCN 28nm architecture, which is essentially AMD's last couple of generations have been based on this. So we have HDMI support for up to 1.4. If you want to do stereoscopic 3D for movies, it's possible of this with like third-party drivers. You've got dual link DVI for resolutions of up to 2516 to 1440 or 1600, and you've got VGA for those of you who have slightly older monitors, that's probably the majority of the customers who probably want to buy this card. Graphics cards in the 10 to 15,000 range has generally been a little weak in terms of performance.
You usually have to you have to play your games and low to medium
at best.
At best. So this is where this card is special. We'll show you in a bit. This card can play most games on max to high settings. Like say Battlefield 4 that came out recently. You turn it up all the way to ultra. You drop anti-aliasing. You can play it perfectly fine on an overclock 7730.
All settings set maxed out to ultra, which is pretty amazing considering the card costs only 12,000 rupees. True that we have these are overclock benchmarks we're talking about, but even at stock you probably be looking at about 25 FPS, which is still amazing, very playable, and overclocking is very simple. So maybe at some point we'll be able to do a review or a small how-to guide on how to overclock your card.
One more thing to say about this: these things are very efficient. This doesn't need a 16 power connector, and maximum power draw is under 50 watts. That is a very low power consumption. If you take a competing card, say like a GT630 that draws about 60 watts and a GT640 around 70 watts. So this is faster than both of them and up to 25% more efficient.
Just keep in mind that your PCI Express slot is able to deliver up to 75 watts the card. So this graphics card doesn't require any external power. There's no 6-pin connect required. It draws all the power it needs from your motherboard, and all you need is just a branded 250 watt. Just a genuine,
even
200,
220 watts.
220 watts would comfortably power a card like this, along with even an i5 system, a current gen i5 system, which is pretty amazing. So a lot of you with some of the older, maybe slightly cheaper power supplies, and you don't want to spend extra on new power supply to power up a new card, this is what you're looking at. You just have to go home, just slot this right in, and you're good to go. And you'll be able to play most of your games, provided that you're not gaming at full HD. You'll be able to play almost all your games at maximum settings, which is pretty crazy. For only 2,000 rupees more than what we used to sell a GT630, you now have a card that is capable of delivering out-of-the-box performance, which is about 2.5 times more powerful than a 630. And after overclocking, it actually matches some of the high-end Radeon cards like the Radeon 7750 and nips on the toes of like something like a GTX 650, which is pretty amazing given the fact that it doesn't require any external power, very low power draw. It's got all the latest features, DirectX 11, the works, and at the same time, the cost is so low. Really, the cost factor is what you're probably going to be looking at right now, which is why this is such a great buy. So what we would like to show you next is we are probably going to show you our test system here, where we have some 7730s running. We actually have, this is not a plausible option for a lot of people. Like, this is two 7730s, if you can look over here. we have two Radeon 7730s in Crossfire. It looks impressive, but really a 7730 isn't a great card for Crossfire because
it's not. Say two of these will cost you 24,000.
Yes.
For that 24,000, you're much better off buying a card like a R7260X.
Alright, so we'll quickly run into the specifications of our test bench here. You can see our Sapphire Radeon 7730 inside there. We have essentially a 4th generation platform. That's a Core i5 4570 processor running at about 3.2, is it?
0.2, yes.
3.2 gigahertz. We got 8 gigs of Core 7 Vengeance RAM, and the board is it's a B85 chipset, Gigabyte G1 killer, B5. Pretty great board. Maybe we'll do a review on that board on another day. And the power supply is, I think we put in the 500 watt. I think it's probably a Seasonic 550 Platinum. In case you're wondering what the hell this monitor is, this is Kusha mind just tells me.
This is AOC 2963 ultra widescreen monitor. As you can see, it's quite wide. It's not the usual 1080 monitor.
Yeah, it's 21 by 9 actually.
It's 21 by 9. It's 256 1080. So it's a bit more than Full HD. Of course, we won't be running this card at Full HD or anywhere closer.
Yeah.
Because this card is mainly built for like 720p gaming. So
as you can see, as
you can see, some settings there. We are running it at 1366 at 768. This is the important part over here. Like we were speaking about earlier, we switched off ambient occlusion, switched off the deferred NS, everything else is in ultra. Switching this off, it's kind of asking too much of this card. Okay, so let's apply these settings and see what it does. So if you play the game or you are playing the game right now, you will identify this scene somewhere. It's the first or second mission of the game. It's quite a large area, so yes, in a large area like this, you might notice a few stutters in the game. But for 12,000, you really can't come there.
That's true. So as you can see, what we're using in the top right corner of the screen, you can see some red numbers. That's essentially using the in-game FPS overlay to tell you how many frames per second are being rendered. And you can see that you're averaging anything between 38 to 40 FPS with some slight drops in open area. So, but by and far we noticed that when you are in general close areas, the FPS ranges between 30 to 40. And as you can see, the gameplay is quite smooth. But as you can see right now, you're overlooking one of the largest areas of the game in general. Actually, this is one of the largest rendered game scenes. As you can see, in certain areas it just goes up all the way to 40, 45, 47, but generally
even with all that cloth going on there,
it's still 45. It's very clear. You can 45, 52. But you probably won't get those frames constantly. So if you're looking at a scene where a lot of particle physics are being rendered and a lot of different graphics are being rendered, you're probably going to average something between 30 to 35.
Alright, so you saw the card in action. This is essentially how it compares to pretty much everything else on the market right now. You can see the 7730 way down there. Yes, it's not a high-end card, so it doesn't compare to stuff like the 7950s and the 660s or whatever. But if you look at the graph, you can see very clearly that it's quite a bit ahead of a GT640, and the GT630 is bringing up the rear. It's even slower than the Intel HD 4600 onboard graphics, so it's not really a great card to be buying anymore. The 7730 for 12,000. Now if you look at the other cards around there, the GT640 tends to cost around 16,000. 250 is essentially a overclock 7730, and the 650 costs around 20,000. So it offers very good value right where it's standing at 12,000 rupees.
Alright, so that was our review of the Radeon HD7730. Hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't too in-depth, really. When you think about it, we didn't go from the unboxing to the accessory kit or do an in-depth or really in-depth review. But what we wanted to show you guys is the fact that the graphics card itself provides amazing value for money, and we were just trying to highlight the points as to why you should purchase this if your budget is 15 or below. There are a lot of you out there, because in Sri Lanka, a lot of our people think Nvidia is the only way to go, and Radeon cards, there's a lot of myths surrounding it, which we'll try to cover in another video another day.
Yes, we will get there soon.
Exactly. But for now, just understand that Radeon on the low end, right now, make better cards than Nvidia on the low end. Anything below $200, actually maybe not 200.
Not 200, maybe around $100
to $150. Radeon right now offers more value for money because we stock NVIDIA cards as well, but you know, we recommend this.
If you look over there,
you'll see exactly. You'll see the 630, the 650.
Like you see all the 660.
A lot of NVIDIA cards over there, but we definitely wholeheartedly recommend if your budget is below 15,000, this is the card to get, and this is the absolute best card that money can buy for 12,000 rupees right now. So even if you've never used a Radeon card before, do not hesitate to go out and buy one because this is the best bang for buck gaming graphics card available right now in the market below 15,000. So that wraps up our review. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, please subscribe. Click on the button below, subscribe. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, go check us out, Redline Technologies.
You'll find the link there again.
Again, exactly. And just go give us a like. If you didn't like the video, subscribe anyway because we're awesome. And if
you might like our next videos. So.
Exactly. We're hoping to come out with a lot more videos, you know, cover a lot more things that need to be addressed here in Sri Lanka, and hopefully that'll, you know, we'll address them in the videos to come. But for now, if you didn't like anything about this video, please comment below. Tell us what you'd like to see. Tell us what you'd like us to review or what you would like us to cover. We'd be more than happy to do that for you. So for now, it's Kushan. That's exactly. Got a little mixed up there.
Yes.
All right, we're signing out. You guys have a great day. Hopefully we'll see you again next video sometime soon.